Hello, it's Claire from Angelic Scalliwags and welcome to a day in my life. On this morning I woke up to the most glorious sunrise, so I had to go outside and get a photo of it. Just so beautiful, and there were lots of crows in the trees, so I took a photo of that as well. Then I popped inside and I started my day, and my day always starts with a cup of coffee. You can see me here in my dincy-wincy kitchen making my coffee. I grind up my coffee beans and I have a lovely fresh coffee. I usually then take that back to bed and have my devotion time, read a little bit and fill in my health journal. And after that I take the dog for a walk. As this is quite new to me, I didn't film me being in my bed, which I can't imagine why anyone would want to see that, and I also was too shy to film whilst I was outside with the dog. Whilst I'm out for a walk with my doggy, I will pray for any friends that need praying for, and I also listen to an audiobook, and the book I'm listening to at the moment is The Lifegiving Family by Sally Clarkson, which I've read before and really enjoy. Then I come back and make a second cup of coffee and settle down in my office to write my list for the day. I find lists really motivating. I like to get to the end of the day and feel like I've accomplished things, even if those things are relaxing things. I like to feel like I've used my day wisely, and a list helps me with that. If I'm feeling really uninspired and unenthusiastic, I will do the opposite, which is to write a list every time I do something, and that then ignites my usual enthusiasm and energy for the day. So here you're just seeing me fill in my list of things that I need to get done today. I am currently studying for Masters in Children and Young People, and I'm in my second year. It's a part-time Masters over 3 years, and you can see me working here. I'm working on an essay about children's participation and listening to children, and I'm so old school because you can see all my spider diagrams here that I've written in preparation for writing the essay, and it makes the essay writing much easier to do it this way. But I realised that I probably could do that on the computer, but I quite like having the tangible thing to look at. So I work for about an hour and 15 minutes here, and after that I head over to the kitchen and make myself breakfast. And I live next door to my mum, and I always go next door and spend half an hour with my mum whilst we eat breakfast together, which is just lovely. She's 80 now. And it's lovely to spend time with her each day. I then come back and I spend about an hour and 15 minutes on the actual master's course, so doing the coursework rather than the essay. In this case I'm learning about professionalism, and I'm just going through my course book and highlighting anything that I think is important for me going forward. And doing this, I then have to answer questions about the chapter, and that's online. And having gone through it already and highlighted what I think is important, I'm ready to then answer the questions, and that comes much easier to me. I'm finding this year a bit harder than last year. I did really well last year, but this year is more about being a professional and clinical practice. I think that this Masters is for social workers to do, and obviously I'm not a social worker. I am a nurse, or I was a nurse, but I'm not a social worker, and I haven't worked for over 23 years, being a stay-at-home homeschooling mum, and so I don't really have the practice that everyone else has. I spend the afternoons working on my small business, which is Angelic Scalliwags Art, and my writing for my homeschool blog, which is AngelicScalliwags.com. About a year ago I started painting cute and cosy animal scenes, and 6 months ago I began an Etsy shop selling handmade children's gifts with my illustrations on them. You can see me here packing up an order. It's a very fledgling business, and so I am still at the stage where I really love packing up orders and making sure they go off and look very beautiful. So that's what I'm doing here. The rest of this afternoon was spent working with polymer clay. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll have seen me attempt and fail at making a polymer clay version of my bird, my logo bird, which you can see on the packaging here and stickers here. So today I'm going to try again. So before I made red versions of it, and then I think I made white versions actually, and I painted them red. And then one of my children said to me, "But Mum, your bird isn't red, it's plum." I was like, "Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm not sure why I painted it red." So back to the drawing boards, and I went on Amazon and I found myself some as close to plum coloured as I can get. And I was watching a video from Uncomfy, who works with polymer clay, and she uses the soft pastels to colour them afterwards, which I hated using the acrylic paints to paint it on my first attempt. So I thought, oh, I'll use my my soft pastels that I got from my scrawler box last month. So this is me trying. All I'm doing is making 2 of these things, and that took me way more time than it should have taken me. Anyway, so you can see here that I've bought a cookie cutter, which somebody 3D printed for me, and here I am painting the 2 plum coloured ones, just making the wings a bit darker and the front a bit lighter. And I was really happy with the effect actually once they'd finished. So I'm definitely going to keep this as a option for how I'm going to do my George bird, but I need to figure out a way of how to seal it before I put the resin on, because the resin changes the colour of the powder for some reason, I don't know why. So I am going to maybe use a bit of hairspray or something, maybe do a bit of research here. But I did like how these turned out, and I'm going to show you in slow motion here, not slow motion, in real time. So that looks fairly similar. So at this point I'm really happy with how they've gone. And then I try resining them for the first time. So I've watched Uncomfy doing her resin, and my goodness me, it's much harder than it looks. And since I filmed this, actually I've watched a few more videos, and I know that I should be wearing gloves. I am in a well ventilated area. I've opened the back stable door to my studio, and actually there's no smell of this resin at all. However, putting it on was really difficult, and I can see now that I need to have it in a little bowl, and I need to sort of paint it on using a brush, because this gave a really hot, like it was quite thick and bumpy. You can see it there, it's really thick, and that wasn't the look that I wanted. But you can also see that the resin has changed the colour of the chalk pastel. So I didn't love these, so it's back to the drawing board to try again, and next time hopefully I'm going to do a better job of the resin. But anyway, I did add a couple of pins to the back of these, and I really liked, so my UV light, that worked amazingly. I can't believe you put them under really thick resin, and within 5 minutes it's completely rock hard. So I didn't even glue these pins on, I just put resin around it and then put them under the UV light again, and the resin actually held the pins on really tight. I couldn't pull them off, I couldn't break them off. It was amazing. So I think maybe using them as glue, using the resin as glue, is a really good idea. I decided these were good enough to decorate my chest of drawers, my little wicker chest of drawers on the top of my desk with, but they aren't good enough for me yet to include in an order or to sell as a fridge magnet, but I shall keep at it and try again. I'm just crossing off what I've done so far today. The rest of my afternoon was spent working on a homeschool curriculum that I'm developing about Mesopotamia. It's called Angelic Skags Go to Mesopotamia, and within this homeschool curriculum I'm reviewing all the books available that I can find on Mesopotamia, so that people can choose, pick and choose the ones that they want to buy in for their unit study. And so here I'm just planning one of my book reviews. I've also made some luggage labels, and you can't see them here but you will in a minute, some flight tickets and boarding passes, and I'm printing these out on sticker paper, and these will go onto what I call an adventure box, which is just luggage that we put all of the activities that we're going to do on the unit study. So we use that luggage sort of like for going to Mesopotamia, if you like. Here are my luggage labels and my boarding passes and my tickets, the airline tickets, which I've made on Canva. So I'm printing those out now on hard cardboard, and this is just for a video that I'll be doing over on my Angelic Scalliwags Homeschool channel, but I spent the afternoon prepping for that. This curriculum is very, very close to being finished, and it's been in the pipelines now for about 3 years, if not longer than that. I'm a bit nervous about putting it out there, but it's getting there, and I'm enjoying doing all the creative stuff towards it. I'm not unsure about that. I am unsure about the book that I've written to go with it. The book is a memoir of sorts, and it was how I've just basically written how we completed our own Mesopotamia unit study back when the children were much younger, and it's all the activities that we did, but it's written in a story form. So I'm a bit anxious about putting it out there actually, because it's a bit more personal than just a book that I've imagined out of my head. It's about what we did, and it's precious and close to my heart. So I'm hoping one day I'll have the courage to publish it. We'll see. So here I am just cutting out the boarding passes and the airline tickets. I really love how all of this turned out, and I'm looking forward to showing it on my other channel with the actual luggage and how it looks with all the labels and everything. And yeah, it increases the children's excitement when you've got little bits and pieces like this. I've also made a passport. I didn't print it out on this day, but I've made a passport that the children can fill in with passport stamps and everything. So this all comes with the curriculum. So I'm just showing you now everything that I've printed out. So all the tickets and the luggage labels are obviously done on cardboard. The other things are done on sticker paper, or you can just use normal paper and stick it on your luggage using Pritt Stick. So I've almost finished my work for the day. I've crossed off almost everything on my list. But there are a couple of creative things I want to do just to end the day. So I bought some flowers to go in my jug that my best friend bought me for my 40th birthday. Well, actually, she didn't buy it, she made it and decorated it herself. So I had bought some gorgeous flowers that won't die because they're made of silk. And that's going to just look beautiful. Look at that. Oh, they're so pretty. So pleased with how that turned out. And I kill everything that's living, so it's really good that they're unkillable. And then last week I finished my hedgehog pictures that were going onto a stamp, and I was so pleased by the Viviva colour sheets. I mean, the colours were exceptional. I've never seen such incredible colours, and I really loved these pictures, even though they're just paintings of paintings that I've done before. I just really loved the vibrancy of the colours, so I wanted them on my walls, and they fit perfectly. So I'm just blue tacking them to my walls so I can look at them every day and think what wonderful colours they are. I'm definitely going to look at getting some more Viviva colour sheets, because I just think the colour pigmentation is amazing. Look at that. And then just crossing off everything else on my list which I have finished, and that's the end of my day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and don't forget to dream impossible dreams.